Okay, I hit record and then I hit, oh, mute all. Okay, I hit mute all just so that our recording is great, but if you want to talk, raise your hand or unmute yourself, please. I don't need to lecture at you. Please interrupt me if you'd like, if you want clarification. So Mira wanted me to train a little bit on sales and closing, and I know that we all would love more sales in our business, right?
Oh, really, by the way, it smells heaven.
Oh, who's that? I'm just gonna mute them. I'm gonna mute. Let me mute. Okay. So a couple exciting things have happened since the last time I was with you all. And one of the funniest things ever is that I've been nominated for the top 10 saleswomen in Nevada. And the funny thing about this is I did not join Arbonne for 4 years because I said in my head, I am not a saleswoman. Okay. So let me talk about what I am realizing selling really is and give you some really great nuggets to actually put in your toolbox and start using. I'm going to give you my exact 4-step sales script. Who's excited about that? So that you can really feel really excited about selling. And this is why I believe I'm so good at selling and didn't realize it is because I'm a psychologist. And what I want to tell you is there's 2 things that you need to really get good at to grow your sales. And one is listening. So one of my greatest strengths as a psychologist is I'm a really good listener. So you want to listen a lot more than you talk when it comes to selling. And I'll tell you about that. And the second thing that I'm really good at as a psychologist that helps in selling is I ask really great questions. So I'm going to give you the exact questions that I would ask and how I've been closing about 90% of my sales calls. It's like giddy good. It's like giggly good getting me on a sales call now because it's so fun and easy. And when sales are easy, it's really fun, obviously. Okay, so let me set up this context. When you're thinking of selling, I want you to think of yourself as, what's a version of Santa Claus that's Jewish? I don't know, but I want you to think of yourselves as Santa Claus and that you can't possibly know what gift to pull out of the bag and give someone until you know what's on their wish list. Okay? So what I want you to think of is, what are the problems that I solve for people? I help them with their health. I help them with their skin. I help them make money. And what are some ways that I can help them realize that they have problems in those areas? And what are some ways that I can ask questions to figure out what problems they have? This in the coaching world, in the marketing world, is also called their pain points. So their pain point is what keeps them up at night. What would they happily give you their credit card if you could solve for them? You know, if you could help me lose 20 pounds this month, like, here's my credit card. Like, what is it that they really want? Okay. So the way that you want to set up questions when you're having coffee dates or getting to know people is you want to think of, what question can I ask that kind of tees up you coming in later and saying, actually, I help people with that. So John Maxwell, the #1 leadership coach, right? He says leaders ask great questions, and the person asking questions is the one who has, for lack of a better word, power and control in a conversation. So because you're going to be listening way more than you're talking, you really want to think of the questions you can ask, like I said, to tee up. So I might say, like, on a scale of 0 to 10, how great are you feeling about your health these days? And they're going to give you a number. On a scale to 0 to 10, how in love with you are you with your skin right now? On a scale of 0 to 10, like, how in love with you are you with your financial situation? You don't have to tell me what exactly you make, but like, how great is that going for you? And they'll give you a number. And my hunch is it's probably not going to be a 10. And if it is, that's awesome. We can deal with that later. But they'll give you a number. Let's say it's a 5 or a 6. Oh, okay. Tell me a little bit more about that. Like, what Why do you think it's not a 10? Or what would bring it to a 10? And they'll tell you what that is. Okay? You're getting to their pain point, their problem. You're getting to understand what they would like solved. Okay? And what you're wanting to do is this is how to think of it. There's like a gap between where they are and where they want to be. It's almost like this huge river. And in your sales conversations, you actually want to make the river as big as you can. You want to help them see that there's a big gap there. Okay, and so you'll see what I mean by that, because then you're going to come in and you're going to be the bridge that closes the gap. Okay, so let's say you're starting that and you realize that they're at a 5. Okay, so you really struggle with not having lots of money at the end of your month. Okay, so how long, so that's question 1. You set up what's your struggle, what's your goal. Another way to do that is what would be the most like silly, awesome, exciting goal that you would have in that area?
I don't know what happened. I did. I left 11:15 on the place, and I was on chain 11:15.
So I'll repeat that again. Another way you can go about that is your number 1 question out of the 4 kind of steps is figuring out what their goal is or what their struggle is or what they want more of. Okay. Second question I would ask, or second point would be, okay, so tell me, like, how long have you been struggling with this? And they may say, oh my God, like 10 years, Dr. Erin. Oh my gosh, Mira, you have no idea. I've struggled with my weight my whole life. Oh, wow. Okay, so it's really been a struggle for you. Okay, your third step is, so what do you think has been like the biggest struggle for you in reaching that goal? What do you think in your best guess? If you had to put, your best guess, why do you think that's been that way for you? And they'll tell you. And then step 4 is, what would it mean for you if that was no longer there? What would that mean for your family if you no longer struggled with money? Like, what would that look like? And they'll tell you. They've just then told you exactly what they need. And my hunch is, you're going to have the solution to whatever they need because you've set up this conversation in a way that's about the problems you solve. So once someone tells you what they need, it's much easier to then go in and say, you know what, I would actually love to help you with that, and I do help you with that. And here's the move you want to make. You want to ask for permission. Would it be okay if I told you a little bit about how I help people with that? And they will say yes. The way to get out of a convincing sales conversation is to ask for permission. Let me go back to one thing. Before you even start these 4 questions, this 4-step kind of process, I often ask permission even at the very beginning, and it looks something like this. So thank you so much for taking your time to get on a call, or thanks for meeting me with coffee to talk about this. But, if it's all right with you, I want to help you in the fastest way possible. And I have found that there's just a couple questions that if I could ask you, it will help me really get to what you're needing and how I can help you the fastest. Would that be okay with you if I asked you some of those questions? And they will say, yes, of course. And then you're in charge of the conversation and you've been given permission. And then nothing after that feels convincing or salesy because you're simply then just delivering what they just said they wanted. It's fascinating. Okay. Yes. Oh, is that putting the light on. So whatever they say, you've gone through the 4 steps. You now know what they need. Awesome. This is what you just say, I could totally help you lose 10 pounds. Let's get started. I use very expectant language. What you saw there is, they don't need to know every reason or every way that I help people lose 20 pounds unless they ask me. People don't care all the 12 steps, all the 12 modules in my coaching program. They want to know, can I help them create a business that makes them money? Great. Now they might then ask you, but I'm not going to assume that. I'm going to say, like, great, let's get you started. Let's sign you up. What I would recommend is the Healthy Living Pack, blah, blah, blah. Great. You haven't even talked about price yet. You're just expecting they're going to sign up because they just told you what they wanted and you just said, I got the solution. So then at some point they'll be like, well, how much is that? You say, well, for what I'd recommend for you, it's about $350. So how do you want me to take care of that tonight for you? You go straight there. And then if you get an objection, then we deal with the objections. And this is how we deal with objections. Raise your hand if you want me to stop, you guys, but I'll just keep going. Here's the first thing about objections. You want to agree with whatever objection they give you. Say, oh my gosh, totally understand. You just agree. Oh, if they say, well, I don't really know what this program is, you say, of course, I haven't even really told you about it. Would you like to learn more about it? Again, you're getting permission. Then you're never talking at people. Okay? Now, what I want you to say is I want you to say it's your advanced system. So my new coach is Brendan Burchard. He's the #1 coach in the world. He coached Oprah. He's good enough for Oprah. Good enough for
Get out.
Shut the front door.
Get out.
A lot has happened since we last talked. So
I have to just interrupt you for a second. I saw him live when I went to Eric Worre, and I was extremely impressed.
Yeah, he's the best.
Okay.
He says these days you want to say you have whatever you have, that is your advanced program. Use the word advanced and watch what that does for your business, you guys. This is my most effective, most advanced health program. That is the one I would recommend for you. And it's going to be the 30 days. Like, that's your most advanced, clinically proven, most effective. That's definitely what I would recommend for you. You just start there. It's your advanced program, my friends. Okay? I always now say that's my advanced training, because it is. You start there. You say, okay, well, I don't know if I could afford that. Okay, tell me more about that. Like, what's your budget for your health and wellness? Try that question. You will find very quickly how committed someone is. And then you have that goal that they just said. So they're like, I just want to lose 20 pounds. And that's a big goal. Okay, you said how much what that would mean to you, that you were crying about it. Like, so how are you going to do that? You have no money to put towards that. Like, let's change that. How can I help you problem solve that? Let's work together to get you to lose your 20 pounds. How can we work together to get you there? Let's get creative. Like, let's get super resourceful. And you walk them through that. How can you get resourceful? Because they've already said it means the world to them. Yes, Mira.
So I have a question. So let's say they do want to lose 20, 30 pounds, whatever it is, and they are saying they can't afford it. So then are you going to segue into either offering them an option to become a consultant at a lower price or to host an event? Like, what's your segue after that?
I would say, great, how much money can you throw at this problem right now? How much money can you allocate to changing your health? You just said changing your health would change how you mother your children. You just said changing your health would blah, blah, blah. Like, how much, what are we looking at? And I will work with you. And then your job is to know your products enough to know. If they say 150, awesome. Let's get you started on shakes and this, and then I'm going to help you how to supplement with that, couple meals a day, and you're off and running, whatever, right? So I would start there. Your job is to know I will get you the best deal, but what is your budget? I don't know where you're at. I just told you the program's $350 or whatever it is. So what can you spend on this? If they say 0, that's their answer. Like, they know what that looks like to sit with that answer. They know what that looks like. And then you keep loving on them and you keep following up, and I would love to figure out a way that you can earn this money, because I'm not going anywhere. I'm committed to you to reaching your goal. And that doesn't sound like it's right now. And so let's work on how can we get you to getting $350 so that you are in their back pocket for when they want to lose the weight. I have clients all the time that have been following me for years. I don't turn my back on someone because they don't have the money, right? I wait and I help them figure out how to change their life so that they can get this thing that they just said they wanted so badly. Hope that answers your question, Mira. Here are the reasons why people say no. There's 3 P's. It's the price, which is usually never the issue. The price usually means they don't really know the value of it. So that does not mean they're not really looking at their bank account and it really says like I only have $100. I don't mean that, because I hate when people are like, it's not about the price. No, it's really about the price. It's about figuring out. If you told me, you know, when I figured out what it cost to work with Brendon Burchard, I figured out how to make it. That weekend, I figured out how to raise $5,500, you guys. I'll just tell you that. I figured it out. So Tony Robbins says, when you really want something, you don't have to have the resources, but you have to be resourceful. When people really want something, they'll figure it out. They'll figure it out. Okay? So the price or the product, either they don't know and they may not know enough about the product, or they may have tried lots of products in the past that have not worked for them. So you can ask them like, oh, have you tried a cleanse before? Tell me all about it. What worked, what didn't? Okay, well, this is a little different. So blah, 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 right? And the third is the person. They may not trust you. So if you're doing a show and they just met you, they might not trust you. They might have to build that. And but those are the reasons people don't typically buy. And those are the objections that you get to navigate. They're just the questions you get to navigate. What I love for Arbonne is I love closing this way. You're gonna die when you hear this. Mira, I think we've talked about this before. So are we losing weight tonight or making money or both? Okay, I'll say it again. Do you get what we're doing here? So are we clearing up your skin? Are we making money? Or are we doing both? And they will be like, what? Making money? What do you mean? Like, well, there's a business attached to this, of course. So do you want to learn about that? Because I can't check you out until I know which one we're doing. I mean, it's just like this posture you have around it that's like, look, which one are we doing? Oh gosh, I could never do tell me more about that. Okay, cool. Well, if you want to learn more about that, like I totally felt that way for like 3 years. So I would love to tell you how I kind of surmounted that. Are you open to learning more about that? Great, let's go to coffee. Let's get you signed up for the skincare and let's talk more. What would be good for you? And you figure out and you schedule them right there. Are we whatever the goal is they're buying on the products, or are we making money, or are we doing both here? You could say, are we getting awesome skin that glows, or building a business, or both? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Okay. Here is another thing I'll say. If you are posting on Facebook or whatever social media platform you're on, and you're posting curiosity posts that get engagement, like we're teaching you to do, right? And maybe you ask a question like, who here wants great skin, or who here wants to lose weight, or there's something that you know, like they've said, yes, I want to learn more about that, or yes, I want that. When you start your sales call or sales conversation, you can literally start it by saying, what are we talking about here? I know you liked my post. Like, how can I help you? What are we talking about here? They will sell themselves, you guys. This is the most amazing sales strategy. If Yale posts, who wants to join me on my next 30 days to lose, 15 to 20 pounds, and they're like me, you get to then go over and say, like, tell me, what do you want? What can I help you with? And they will tell you. You do not have to sell anything. You guys, does that make sense? If you already have some buy-in, tell me, what are we talking about on this call? Or tell me, what are we doing here? What are we doing? Tell me about what we're doing with your health. I'm using the word we. I'm using expected language. It's all very savvy, isn't it? It's like I know what I'm doing or something. It's hysterical. Oh my God. Oh my God. I love selling now. Because it's so fun, because all you're doing is figuring out what they need. And then you're like this Santa Claus that just gets to deliver the goodies all day long. And I will say some of my best sales calls are calls where we determine you are not ready for coaching right now. So I am not saying sell just to sell and people are dollar signs and I am not saying that at all. And I'm not saying that everyone should be in your business. I'm saying you get to discern if you want someone, to join you in your business, you get to choose. And then if you do, like, I want to give you a strategy to help close the gap. So these strategies are for people that you want to help, but this is not just every single human being can, give you your money. That's not the brand that I stand behind. Okay. But I am talking about all day long, you've got a bag of goodies you can give to people. If you go around and ask for people and what they need, and if you set up the questions strategically. So all the time I'm like, do you have a business? Oh my gosh, tell me, like, how long have you been in business? Tell me all about it. What do you love most about your business? They will tell me what they love. They will tell me what they hate. Like, are you just kicking butt in your health? You could set it up like that and they'll tell you. They'll say no, or they'll say, yeah, awesome. What's your next goal? And they'll tell you. And then you might have a solution for them. So you go with their conversation. You reinforce what they're saying. You ask questions about it, what they give you, but you take interest in people. So I'll pause right there. Any questions or thoughts or concerns or ahas? Oh, allow people to unmute themselves.
I have a question.
Hi.
I'll put the video on. Hi. What if you're calling someone just cold, like a referral, or someone who you don't know at all, and it's more, sometimes I'm calling them as another referral base. It's sort of like it's indirect prospecting. So how would you use this approach, in like the beginning of, how would the conversation go? If it's someone totally, like, they don't know you, you don't know them, they don't know what you're calling about.
Great question. So I'll say something about the referral situation, but if you're calling them, I don't just point at a, page and call people. So I don't do that. And I don't know if that's what you mean by cold calling, but there's probably something about them or some reason. But if it's a referral, then it's not a cold call. That's called a warm lead. And the way that you work that is you say, oh my gosh, my friend Mira, she heard about what I do and she knows you. And for some reason, she really thought the two of us should talk. And I would love to learn more about, whatever it is that you were talking about. Okay. So I was just brought to a coffee date with someone and I got on the phone and I texted her and I said, wow, it just seems like she knew enough about you, enough about me that she really thought that we should talk. So tell me a little bit about what you do and where you're at. I'm a business coach, but tell me about what you do. So you definitely use that referral to your benefit and say, like, she knows something about you that made her think we need to talk. And she knows what I'm up to. She knows what I'm up to. She knows what you're doing. So you want to milk that referral. You want to really, really strongly connect back to that, because that's your reason that you have already shared likability and trust. Now, cold calling is a whole different game. And that is, literally, you need to start with a question that kind of tees them up. So the reason I'm calling is, I don't know what give me an example of that. Would you please?
Yeah, like I called, I got a number of someone in California. I had no idea. It was from, and I called up and I said, I got your number from this. It was like a list that I got. It was maybe a synagogue list or something. I said, I'm not calling in reference to the synagogue. Is it okay if I ask you another question? Something else. So then I got, their permission. And then I said, I have a business and I'm looking to expand in your area. Would I be able to either have a conversation now, or when later information that could, tell you more about what I do and what I'm looking for.
Perfect. That's perfect. And then if they say, sure, I would quickly or very briefly say, it's in the health and wellness industry. Before I bore you with all the details, like, tell me a little bit about, are you looking to grow a business yourself? Like, I would see what I'm doing there. I put it right back onto them as quickly as I possibly can strategically, because the last thing you want to do is cold call someone and then like take them hostage. Like they're like, oh good God, I did, right? And so that's how I would segue into that and just see, again, you're getting their buy-in right away. Is that of any interest to you? And again, your posture. So posturing in network marketing is having strong posture means I am so confident of what I have and so excited about it and proud of it that no matter what you say about it, I still feel that way. And so posture comes off as like, cool, like if you want to hear about it, great. If you don't, okay, no problem. Like you've got to have that much posture to get people. If you don't, remember Dean Graziosi? No, I didn't share this. That was a different call. So let me tell you one thing. When I was at Brendan Burchard's event, he had one of the top salespeople in the world, Dean Graziosi, come on stage. And if you've met or clicked on anything on Dean Graziosi, you'll see his ads all over for the rest of your life because he spends $700,000 a week on Facebook ads. A week, okay.
And Instagram.
A billionaire, yeah. So he says, these are the two things that you have to believe in your Arbonne products and business this much, that you believe only two things are possible if someone doesn't use them. One, they will use other products which are not as good. Like you have to believe that, maybe you'll go and lose weight and get other skincare or whatever from another business and it's not as good, which would be a bad situation in your mind. Or two, the person will do nothing. And if you do not believe in your products that much, then you got to build up your belief or quit what you're doing. That's the problem. If you don't believe in it that much. And when that changed everything for me. This last week, I changed everything, you guys. Like I literally think if you're in business, you should be in my program. Like I'm so in love with my program. It's weird, but it feels really good. And if there is a crack, you hear about that in Arbonne, you're cracking your belief, but if there is, it will show up in that posturing. So just remember, do I believe that it's people would either get something of lesser value or they wouldn't change at all. So both would be bad. So that's that. So that's the posture you want to bring to the table. Did that help with your cold calling question?
Yeah. One more thing though, if let's say they say, no, this business is not for me, how would you go ahead? Because I still want to tell them about it because they may know someone. They have the whole network of people that they know that I would love to, for her to know about this. She may know someone, whether it's now. So how would you go into that?
I would say, awesome. Okay, great. Good to know. So again, I would agree. I wouldn't say yes, this isn't for you. I would just agree, totally hear you. May I ask one more question? Can you think of one person who was just itching to make more money? They kind of want to work from home even. They want to work from home. They don't want to work for a boss. They don't want to report to someone, but they want to figure out how to grow a business online. Who do you know? Can you think of one person? And then they may say, I don't know. And you're going to say, I know you don't know, but let's think of can you think of one person? You're going to say, I know you don't know, but you're going to say this, I know you don't know, but if you did, who would that one person be? You're going to ask them to just think about it one more time. I know you don't know, but if you did know, who, and you just got to practice this, you guys, so that it does not feel weird. I know you don't know, but if you did know, who's one person? This works in all your referrals, you guys. Say you've got someone that lost 20 pounds. You call them up. The reason I'm calling, Mira, do you have just a minute? Yeah, the reason I'm calling is I'm on mission to help other people lose weight like you did. That's my mission. And I'm wondering, who do you know that would love to lose the weight that you lost and have the results that you had? Who do you know? Oh, I don't know, Erin. Let me think. I don't know. Okay, I know you don't know, but let's think this through. Who do you know, Mira? I mean, we got to help them. Like, you just feel so great. Who do you know? They're going to want to help other people. And they said, can I have time to think about it? Absolutely. When will you know? When will you have time to think of one person? And then you do the Eric Worre, right? Then I'll call you then. Okay, great. So you'll know by Thursday. Okay, well, I am that committed that I am going to call you on Thursday. I'm that committed to it. So I'm going to, do you want me to call you or text you for your one name? And then what I'll do is I'll just say, like Mira said, I needed to reach out to you. Like she lost the 20 pounds and she feels amazing. You've seen how great she looks. And she wanted me to reach out and offer this to you and just see if you're wanting to, take your health to the next level. I would love to help you. Okay.
Can I ask a question?
That was awesome. Thank you, Erin.
You're welcome.
But when it comes to weight loss, could it be a touchy subject if you're calling someone as a referral to be like, well, someone lost weight and said that maybe you want to? Would it be better than to have that friend say, call the person that lost the weight, call up their friend for you then and do that? Because I kind of feel like that could.
When I was saying it, I realized, you don't want to do that there. But I would say you saw the transformation she had, and I asked her, like, is anyone else wants to feel their best? Who could I share this with that could have awesome results like Mira? And she gave me your name. So I just wondered if there's anything I can do to help you. Do you have any health goals? Like, let me ask you this,
Right.
0 to 10, how excited are you about where your health is at right now? And then you start, and then you're starting your 4-point sales. So yeah, I realized that when I said that.
Okay. Also, I kind of feel like, tell me what you think, that this is really great information, a lot of new information, a lot of new skills, that it's okay to either, before you obviously call people, have this out in a notebook, keep it with you, put it on your phone until this becomes second nature how to speak, right? It's not just taking notes and that's it. It's taking notes, but then utilizing it and utilizing it and utilizing it.
And you guys, yes, and you can even have this little sheet at your coffee dates. You can say on the phone, like, I'm going to be jotting down notes because you're going to be telling me a lot of important information and I don't want to miss anything. So I just want you to know, if you hear me writing, I'm writing because I really want to take notes. Like my coach at Brendan's team takes notes when we're coaching, okay? Just tell people you're doing that. I want to make sure I can just jot down, because my memory, I cannot remember everything, and your answers are that important to me. I have the sales script with me still at times. I had it getting on this call tonight. It's right here, just in case I didn't remember it all. I mean, I always prompt myself. What else?
Okay, does anybody have any other questions or comments on any of it? I know some people are taking notes, I see.
And if not, any other questions about business, anything, mindset, team, leadership, money, anything. We've got like 20 more minutes we can be on. So anything you want to ask a business coach, psychologist, anything. I'm happy to.
Erin?
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
So question, what would be the best way to help people stay consistent with their business?
Oh, so good. Thank you for that question. So consistency is the most important piece. We all know this. And this is what I'm so excited to just shifting and learning from my work with Brendan and my own life. I want you to write this down. Productivity is not a measure of time management. It's a measure of dream management. Your productivity and consistency is simply a function of how well you are leading your dream. And I'm going to explain what I mean by this. But it's a measure of how well you are leading your dream. And when someone tells me that they're lacking motivation, or they get off, are kind of getting off track or getting distracted, it simply means they have forgotten their dream. It is literally that simple. But this is what we know. The people who are consistent and disciplined in their life, they're not different from you and me, but they're activating their brains different than you and me, and more often. And so what I mean by that is highly consistent, productive people visit their goal and dream every single day, and they don't get to work and sit down to work without thinking about their dream. And so what I want to encourage you to do is find a picture of your vision, visualize your dream life, your dream team, your dream bank account, whatever it is. And I want you to, in the morning, either visit it visually in your mind, make yourself a collage. I have a collage on my phone. My screensaver is my dream, everything on there. And I am not going to work any day without visiting my dream, because everything rides on that. And so any lack of motivation just means, and you've heard about the why, it just means you've forgotten about your why. And what we have to do is, though, we have to condition ourselves to lead our dream. So is what you're doing daily conditioning your brain to lead your dream? That's huge, you guys. What I want to say about that is, I want you to really get clear about leading your day versus your day leading you. People who reach their goals, they win the day. And when they win enough days, they win enough weeks, they win enough months, they win enough years, they win enough decades. So I want you to really think about what I call reverse engineering. So I want you to think about, let's just think about 2019, because we're kind of almost there. I want you to think of like, what's the main goal for 2019? And what would be the 1 to 3 projects or priorities that I would need to do to stay true to that one main goal? So I'll give you an example. Mine is to double my income, and my 1 to 3 ways of doing that are speaking, growing Instagram, and something else. And literally, if it doesn't fall in one of those 3 things, I'm saying no to it. Then I'm going to map out my month based on that year goal. I'm going to reverse engineer and figure out what needs to happen in each month. And then I'm going to reverse engineer that and say what needs to happen each week, and do a week in advance. Hi, Galit. I didn't know you were on, honey. And then I want you to, from your week, map out your day. And this is what will keep you consistent. I want you to start your day with a meeting with yourself before you meet with anyone else. And you know what I mean by that? It means getting on email or checking Facebook or anything. We need to start with ourselves before we react to other people. We need to manage our distractions, because we don't want to just be minions, you guys. Like, we don't want to be worker bees, do we? We want to have like intention and meaning to our day.
So can I ask you a question? So let's say someone has that dream
Has what?
and they have their dream, their goal, whatever it is. Obviously with this business, you know, whether it's, you know, becoming an area, region, whatever. And but if they're not really believing that what they want because of that, like the financial aspect is possible, like, oh yeah, is it ever going to happen? Isn't that going to affect their productivity? Like that dream, whatever their goal is, I'm not saying it's become an area or region, but let's say to make the money that's, you know, going to give them the flexibility. So how do we fix that a little bit to then get their activity consistent to like what you said? Because I feel like that is also a key.
Yes. So, man, we could talk all day about this, but sometimes your mindset can take you out. And this is what I want to say. The adult definition of confidence is simply your ability to figure things out. So I want you to all decide on this Zoom call this second that you can say with confidence, I can build this business. I'm confident I can build this business because I can figure things out. And confidence is simply the ability to say, can I figure out how to harness my resources? Can I figure out how to learn the skills? Can I figure out how to gather up some people in my life that can support this? Can I figure it out? You all can figure it out. And so what confidence just says is all we need is possibility. We just need, did someone else figure out how to do it? Well, then, you know, your brain's saying, based on the data so far, I do not think there's a chance in heaven that we'll ever make that kind of money. And you get to say back to your brain, I know, that makes perfect sense. You would think that. And we're creating new things here and we're looking at what's possible. And so I'm going to take the next right action to do what I know the principle and the promise and the research and the strategy would say. You know, principles have promises behind them. And the principle of I'm going to work so long on this strategy, like it almost can't, it has to work. There are principles, promises behind principles. It has to work. I mean, I knew 4 years ago, if I started building my online media presence each day, that in 4 years, my visibility would look different. Didn't mean I ever, you know, saw it every day, but there's a promise behind a principle. There are promises that if I can figure out the system to get the numbers to grow to area, and I can figure out how to do that, it's a pretty good chance I can get there. That's all your brain needs is the skills. You don't have to, you know, confidence is over, you know, confidence comes from competence. If you are awful at selling, hire a sales coach. I hired 3, or listen to some tapes on it, right? Learn. The best way to grow your confidence is learn the skill. If you say I'm terrible at that, how can I learn that? That's what high performers do. They figure out how can I learn how to do that then? I want to close the gap. Okay. So when you have this goal of area or region or money, I want you though reverse engineering and asking Mira to do the math. How many human beings do I have to talk to about the products and opportunity to get that many yeses, to get that much money? And then I want you to figure out how many human beings is that a month? If I got the goal 6 months from I got to talk to 192 people this month. Okay. So now I get to map out my month and figure out how I'm going to talk to 192 people. Like, don't just have your dream out there. Figure out how to get the dream. There's a system, right? I'm really passionate about that, you guys, because it's knowing what to do. And your leader can tell you exactly what to do. It's just simple math. And then we tweak it. If you're not getting certain results, then it's a skill set and we tweak that, but it's doable. So confidence is your ability to figure things out. So I just want you to repeat in your head, I can figure things out. You've been through enough in your life to know you can figure things out. You don't need any more data. The data's in, you can figure things out.
Okay, we're almost out of time. So any other last comments or anything? Anyone? Anyone? Bueller?
Bueller?
Is it like just probably like Adam and y'all get that joke?
Yeah, right. Because we're so old. Thanks, me. I just want to say, Erin, that it was so smart how we work backwards so that's not so overwhelming because then it's just like a daily goal as opposed to, oh my gosh, what do I have to do by the end of the year? So I like that working. That's very smart.
It's so good, isn't it? I'm glad. There's so
Yeah.
much freedom in the discipline of it. There's so much freedom in knowing the plan and working the plan.
Mm.
Yeah. I remember when I was starting coaching, I was like, well, to get that income, I need 12 clients. So my mind's like, who are my 12 clients and how many people do I? Okay, I need to talk to a lot of people to get 12. So here we go. Like, just give your brain that map. Yeah, that roadmap. Good. I'm glad that helped you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
You've been in there for 20 minutes.
And you know, business owners, you're a business owner if you know your numbers. And so what I mean by that is it's going to be really helpful to start tracking how many sales conversations are you having and what's your closing rate? What is your conversion rate? Because then you can go to Mira and you can say, I've talked to 92 people this month and I have nobody. It means like, we got to work on your skills. That's very different scenario than I've talked to 2 people and I don't know why my business is growing. And so just really knowing your numbers so that you could know like I know now my conversion rate is 90%, but I rarely do sales calls. So now I know the thing that's going to triple my income is if I get on a sales call with somebody. So now I get to figure out how do I get on a sales call with somebody. That's interesting to know, right? Or I know when I speak, I convert half the room. We're gonna keep doing that. You know, so it's like finding what you're not a business owner if you don't know your numbers. You're just not. So just fall in love with your numbers.
But can I say something? The one thing I'll tell you though is know your numbers, but at the same time, I'm telling my team, don't wait to talk to 90 people and then tell me you didn't do well. Like after you do speak to 2 or 3 and you're not getting positive results, let's go back and map out what we are saying.
I just want to tell you that you all have such a gift in Mira being available for you. I pay a sales coach a lot of money to every day say, and he says, tell me every objection you're getting and then I'll tell you what to say. Like he's walking me through it. You have that in Mira. My coaches, my clients have that in me. Mira boxers me all the time. So you have a free coach. I mean, it doesn't get better than that, you guys. If you're not utilizing her, it's just like uncashed checks. It's like uncashed, you know. I mean, she's there, she's willing. So it's a great thing. That's what I love about network marketing, right? But you gotta, if you don't use the coaching that's available.
Right. Okay, does anybody have anything else? If not, we are going to wrap it up.
Thank you, Mira, for having me. I love being with all of you.
So I just have to say 2 things. Number 1, the reason why I met you, Erin, is because Yael is the one who posted, I think I said this before, to our page.
That was great.
So thank you, Yael. And Erin, you've been invaluable to me and my business. And of course, our team really thanks you and congratulates you on your recognition and any of your awards. And, you know, you look fantastic as always with the red or the silver that you see on Facebook. But thank you very, very much for your time. 1 second. My son is knocking on my window. I still don't have privacy here, but that's okay. And of course he found me. And when you have a chance, if you do not mind forwarding me the playback.
I'll send you the recording. And I'm going to be in your vicinity bringing my Amped One Day event first week of May. I'll let you know the date, but I want to see you all there. And I want exciting success for all of you. I want that for all of you. You deserve it. All right. Thank you.
That's awesome.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
guys
Have a
so
great
much.
night.
Bye.
Thank you.
Okay.